Welcome to the Fret Friends Podcast, a guitar and music podcast here to instruct, inform, and showcase. Fret Friends is a podcast from AP Guitar, a music tuition business established in 2012, which provide lessons, workshops, and courses to students all over the world. So here's your host, Adam Picard.
First of all, I would like to tell you about the bread and the butter of AP Guitar. ... Drum roll. Guitar lessons. I now teach students all around the globe, students who have had number one hits, co-written with Taylor Swift, played with the Buddy Guy, and many who play just for fun. If you would like to join in, drop me an email on contact@apguitar.co.uk and enjoy your first half an hour lesson completely free of charge. Oh, completely free of charge. Right, but for today, we are on Season 2, Episode 7 of Fret Friends, and I am your host, Adam, and I'm very excited today. You may hear it in my voice for two reasons. One, I am joined by a wonderfully committed and inspirational student of mine, Sharon, aka the String Queen. Sharon has been having lessons with me for almost a year. I think we have our guitar lesson anniversary at the end of November. She's committed to her guitar and her lessons beyond anything, and it's already paid off with last month, I think it was, she played her very first gig as part of a full band on lead guitar mainly. Absolutely amazing stuff. So I'm very proud to call her my student, and she's as good behind the guitar as she is in front of the guitar with her huge collection of guitars, and she's very busy modifying them all. So I can't wait to get a conversation going. But what's the second reason you're so excited, Adam? I hear you ask from your car or your kitchen or your office or yeah. Well, I'll tell you. Right, I will tell you, it is very exciting because Fret Friends now has listeners in 32 different countries. So not last episode, but the episode before it was 31, and then before that, if you can count backwards, I'll give you a hand, it was 30. So it's 32. I'm so pleased. Thank you listening. Thank you so much. It has made me so happy. All right, let's go. Sharon, hi. How are you doing this fine Friday evening? First of all, thank you so much. I really genuinely appreciate your time. You're very kind. Would you like to give me and us an insight into how you first started getting into guitar, and can you take us right back to the start if you don't mind?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm feeling good. It's pretty exhausted at the end of the week, but I've still got a bit of energy. So I first got into guitar, I think I was around 14 when I started really getting into rock music. And I had an introduction into music because I'd had piano lessons and violin lessons from the age of 7. And my dad bought me a guitar from the Argos catalogue when I was about 8 years old, a classical guitar, but it had ended up in the loft. And I remember when I was probably younger than 14, I was probably about 12 actually, and I started listening to classic rock like Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix. I was really getting into all of that. And then I got the guitar down one day and just started playing it a lot, doing riffs like Smoke on the Water. That was the first one I learned.
Oh, amazing.
I know I was younger than 14 because when I turned 14 for my birthday present, I got a guitar pack. So I got Fender Squier with an amplifier and the lead and all the stuff to get started with electric guitar.
And the strap and the plectrum, or maybe two plectrums. Did it come with a video or anything?
No, it was just it was a little lovely guitar shop in Watford actually that doesn't exist anymore. It's called Guitar World. Oh, if you remembers that one? It was so nice. Yeah. And it was a Fender Squier Strat. I'm probably giving away my age now, but it was 1996, so it was their 50th anniversary model. And it was just a really basic kit, but it actually turned out to be a really, really good guitar.
Yeah, I bet. Well, first of all, two Strats that I have here in 1996. One is a Squier as well, and both of them coincidentally in 1996. Two, my first guitar was also that box, the Squire box with the amp and the thing. It wasn't from Argos, but I loved it. It was so cool. And
Is it a Park amp by any chance?
do you know what? It wasn't, but I came across them loads. It was actually a Squire amp. It said Squire on the front.
Oh, okay.
But they must have done something with Park at that point because, yeah, I mean, those Park amps were everywhere.
Yeah, it was a kind of Marshall division or something.
It was.
I'm not sure how much Marshall was in it, but
1% Marshall.
yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So the guitar took over keyboard and everything else then, I'm assuming.
Yeah, really driven by the music that I was listening to at the time. And it was the mid-90s, so all the Britpop and stuff like that was getting big as well. And I just wanted to play music that I was listening to, and nothing was really played on the violin. I think Vanessa Mae was getting quite big. My mum was like showing me stuff with Vanessa Mae because she was doing electric violin amazingly well, but it wasn't really doing it for me in the same way as guitar rock and classic rock.
Yeah, I get it. She was sort of like a rock star of the electric violin, and definitely inspiring. But once you hear that sound, that rock sound, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, more and more guitar is what we wanted, and so after that point, there is this. Where are we now? So we're mid-90s. It was, I mean, I wasn't that old in the mid-90s, but I was. Of course, I've heard music from the mid-90s, and it was it was an incredible time in the UK music scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was brilliant. And I started going to live gigs as well. But with the electric guitar, I was determined to teach myself. I found that the lessons I'd had on the piano and the violin weren't that inspiring. A lot of grades and chords, and not chords, scales, and I wasn't playing music that really inspired me either. So when it came to the guitar, I was determined not to have that be ruined by having the teachers that I'd had previously. And I was determined to teach myself. So for, many, many years, up until last year, really, I taught myself.
Wow, that whole time. Do you know what? Yeah, that's brilliant. Do you say like thinking back to the piano and the violin and everything? Do you think it wasn't a waste of time? Was it? Do you think you got what do you think you got from it? Did you?
Yeah, I got loads from it, like the discipline of practicing.
Yeah.
How to tackle a song, how to read music. And although I don't read music for the guitar, I do read tab, but it's an introduction to what that is. Tempo, all different things, a sense of scales and keys for music, time signatures, things like that. So there's a big introduction there. And I do still play the violin and the guitar from time to time. So I do, and the piano from time to time.
Sure.
I think I got as far as Moonlight Sonata on the piano, so I do sometimes play that. And
amazing.
a bit of Vivaldi on the violin. Yeah.
This is so funny. So I was just saying in the introduction that I've been teaching you since the end of November last year. And I can't believe it's not even been a year. I genuinely cannot believe it's crazy how much you have done within this year. And you've been self-taught and you've been playing for a while, but I think it all makes sense now when you started having lessons, how disciplined you are, because I think some of that is your classical, I'm going to call it classical upbringing and learning to play instruments. And, this is what you have to practice this week, come back. And I think it's all discipline, and I think it shows for sure. But I could not believe that it's not even been a year, and everything that you've done in this year. I mean, I've already spoiled it because again I mentioned it in the intro, but you played your first gig. Was it last month, September?
That's right. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I've always wanted to play in a band. I've always wanted to play live, but I do suffer from stage fright, and I always thought, is it worth it? Is it really worth putting myself through it? I think when I was about 16, I got into a band for a very short space of time. We did a couple of practice sessions, but we didn't play live as far as I remember. But through work, we put a band together. The place where I work was putting on a party, and we thought we'd put the band together and play live at that party. And we have multiple guitarists in the firm, actually, but I was able to get myself the place of lead guitar.
Yes.
In previous iterations, I'd been playing bass.
There's a couple of things I could say there, but I won't. Anyway, you're lead guitar now, so brilliant.
Yeah, and it was really, really fun. The main thing for me was getting enough rehearsals in. I wanted to just be able to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, that we could feel tight and feel confident on the night. And I didn't want to leave anything to kind of guesswork or too much improvisation, although there was one song I ended up improvising on, actually. And we did 7 songs, and thanks to your help and your support and guidance, actually, I don't think I would have been able to do this without your help, because we worked through every song together, and you gave me so much encouragement, but also tips on the live performance. And the coaching, essentially.
Honestly, it's really fun for me to do. Genuinely, it works both ways. But you mentioned stage fright then as well, Sharon, and it's like, it's not easy, is it? And well, you've done it now, so I can say. But playing in front of colleagues that I don't know how it is at work, but you see people around, and they may have never known that you even played guitar. And then they turn up to the event, and you're up there,
right.
playing lead parts. Like the parts we worked on were really like standout parts of songs. You all the different types of bands that you were playing there, and you had some Queen songs in there. And I suppose that another point I was going to make is how well versed you are, and how well versed a musician has to be to play in a band, a function band, because you have to be a little bit of Brian May, and then the next song you have to be somebody else. And how did you find switching between being a different guitarist in each song, and did you change your tone or anything?
So it turns out that the lead guitar part is actually what kind of held the whole band together. In terms of the lead guitar was in every song, every iteration that we did. And so, I felt like a lot was on my shoulders, actually, in terms of the sound that the band was producing. And I was the only one that had the kind of effects and kind of, put effort into the tone of the guitar. So we had a rhythm guitar as well, but he just plugged his Epiphone straight into Fender Blues Junior, and that was it. No pedals, nothing. He was like, and it sounded great anyway. Whereas I felt like I wasn't going to get away with it so much. I wanted to make sure that each song had the tone that fit. So we did an 80s song, an 80s effect kind of song. We did, the Queen. There were different tones. Heart of Glass by Blondie as well. I do actually have a pedal board, but I thought for my first live experience, I'd keep it simple. And I also have a Boss ME80, which is like a multi-effects unit.
Yes, I know of it, for sure.
And, I'd never done this before, but I programmed all the sounds into it.
Blimey, I bet that took a manual or a YouTube tutorial or 5.
Gosh, I don't know if I'm meant to admit this, but I actually asked ChatGPT what settings to apply. I want to sound like a song. I've got this Boss ME80. What's the best thing to do? And I think it managed all the songs really well, apart from a Kings of Leon song. The distortion was just really sharp, so that was the only one that really needed a lot of tweaking, but otherwise that helped. Saved a lot of time.
What's the thing, if the information's out there and it gathers it from the right places, because I know like some of these open source like ChatGPT AI things, like some of them, I was watching a video on Rick Beato earlier, and some of them are programmed to, like, they work, one is owned by Google, so it uses YouTube more, and one is not, and it depends where it's getting it from. But I mean, I've used ChatGPT many times, and it's some stuff it's it's useful. Like you say, with stuff, that you're asking there, it's looking around all the forums and it's taking all the stuff from everyone that's, really put the time and effort in, and, the lovely geeks out there, and it's giving you the good tones. Which one didn't it get then?
It was Kings of Leon. Use Somebody. And when it came to the rehearsal and I was testing it out, the distortion just really got in your ears, like really sharp tone. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but it was really crisp. Maybe there's not as many Kings of Leon fans out there using the same pedal. Good advice, very good advice. Like already we've got lots of advice from you, but the one thing especially I want to take from that is less is more on your. I mean, I know we're talking about programming effects, but you chose that over your full pedal board, and that's a wise move for your first gig. So you've got less to think about, less things to go wrong, less distractions. Yeah, I think otherwise I'd have been keeping it really simple and perhaps going, okay, phaser on, delay on or off, as opposed to, because you don't have time between each song. You've got 2 seconds. Sometimes I'd look at the drummer and take a cue that we're ready, but sometimes they just go straight in. So you don't have time to test. That was the thing I found really tricky, actually. From song to song, the volume changes depending on how what the guitar part is, but also which instruments in the band are playing.
True.
And that I found tricky because you're going from song to song, and sometimes the guitar was maybe a little bit too loud or a little bit too quiet. So I actually had the volume. There's like a wah-wah pedal on the Boss ME18. I had that as set to volume, so I could quickly just lower it or increase it if I needed to as well.
That's a really wise move.
That was the tricky part, actually. I hadn't thought that would happen. But
it's not a coincidence if a gig goes down really well. It's because people have put the effort in. You've clearly put the effort in. All the little things that you think about, they all make a difference, don't they? And sometimes you don't think about them. You're laying in bed late at night and you think, oh, actually, that would be a good thing. And it's like, another thing. But you only really have to do all of that mainly once, don't you, before your first one. And then any subsequent ones from there, you've kind of got all the tools, haven't you? But
some of the other tips he gave me were really helpful, like having a spare for everything. So
yes, I'm a bit extra, but I think it is a good tip.
Because you just never know. Something decides to pack up one of the guitar cables, or somebody else in the band forgets something. So
and they're not going to have spares
as well. So that was helpful for somebody else.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's honestly, you just never know. It's not just spare strings, is it? It's like I bring two guitar straps around with me, just spare batteries for if the guitar has batteries, just all the everything, and then 2 of it, and you might as well, because otherwise you're going to learn the hard way. So no, anyway, and I'm sure everyone listening is really, really pleased for you. So well done, and roll on the next one, hey. And right, so we know what songs you played as a band, but you as Sharon, aka the String Queen, who are your musical influences?
Oh wow! So at the moment, I'm actually really influenced by online guitarists, people who aren't necessarily in bands, but they play. They're normally demoing and selling equipment.
Oh, go on then. Who?
So I listen to Danish Pete quite a lot.
Oh, he's a beautiful player.
Chris Buck.
Oh yes.
Michael Lemo is probably my favourite. He does Norm's rare guitars.
Those
kinds of guitarists, they all kind of improvise. They've got really nice sound. Can play absolutely anything. That's probably what influences me at the moment quite a lot, and they're always selling gear as well. So
well, they know how to sell it, don't they? They're like brilliant players, and obviously they're like large CVs of everything that they've learned as well. But they just they know how to play everything, don't they? I was very jealous of Danish Pete's, one of their recent Andertons ones, when they have oh my god, what's his name? Robbie McIntosh, I think, who was in the Pretenders for a bit. and he's playing an acoustic guitar, and he's playing Don't Get Me Wrong, and he's like, he needs another guitarist in there. He needs someone just to play 2 chords. And Danish Pete's not even in the shot, and he just walks around with an acoustic guitar, and Robbie's like calling out the chords to him in real time as he's playing it. And I'm like, oh, I'm so jealous. You have
I'll have to look that up for sure.
You have the best job. I really hope I haven't got his name wrong. Robbie McIntosh. I mean, a lot of people know him because he was in John Mayer's band for quite a long time. He's English. I think he's from Cornwall, but I know him from the Pretenders. Not the original lineup, of course, because the original lineup didn't last very long. But yeah, he like spent quite a few years in the studio and live with them. So YouTube guitarist. So we've got 3 there. Who else did you say? Chris Buck. Is he Welsh? Is that him?
I don't know much about him, but
has he got long hair?
I did actually see him at a guitar show last year.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, and he plays a Yamaha Revstar.
Yeah, I know the guy. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely incredible guitarist. Yeah, so inspiring when I see them play. Yeah.
Do you know what? That's a really refreshing list. Because, as I said to you at the start, I don't know if I'd hit record then, but it's really nice to speak to you outside of a lesson, so I'm not talking to you in the lesson and taking up all your time, getting to know this. This is actually really useful information for me as your teacher as well. Not sure I could do it with every single one of my students, but I'm going to make the most of this time. You didn't say David Gilmour or Jimi Hendrix or anyone.
I know. That's a given, really, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I think of all the guitarists, it would be Dave Gilmour's sound, which I think is just, his tone is just amazing.
Yes.
And it's like an example of not necessarily having to be that, like, the speed doesn't matter, it's more the sound and the feeling and the emotion.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so much that can be learned from how he plays.
Everything you said there, I agree with. The emotion especially, and the use of like certain notes outside of the pentatonic but in the natural minor more, give it his playing more colour. And it's feeling an emotion over speed, although as we found out, there are a couple of fast parts that bypass that theory somehow. Okay, lovely. No, that's a really good answer. And the third guy from Norman's Rare Guitars, Guitars. I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah, Michael Lemo.
I must know who that is. I don't, but maybe I do.
He's just so good. I mean, his own guitar that he plays when he plays outside of the videos for Norm's Rare Guitars is it's really beaten up old green Jazzmaster.
Oh.
And I think that's it looks like it's maybe his only guitar apart from maybe ones people have gifted to him over the time.
Oh, wow.
But for the videos he does for the Guitar Store, he just picks up anything. So most recently, I think it was uploaded this week, was a 1954 Gibson Les Paul Jr., I think, TV Yellow.
Right.
It's amazing. Yeah, one of my favourite videos I've seen him do, actually.
Do you have a Les Paul Jr.?
I don't. I have a version of it. Godin. It's called a Godin Summit.
Wow, yeah.
I actually modified it, though. I added another pickup in the neck position. So it's no longer technically a junior.
So again, you haven't heard the introduction to this video yet, but I am telling the listeners at the start that you are as good, which way around did I say it? As good behind the guitar as you are in front of the guitar, but I think I mean it the other way round, with your large collection of guitars and your keen eye for the detail and modifications. Can I ask you, how many, I don't know why I feel the need to ask this, but I'm going to do it anyway. How many guitars do you currently own?
25, around 25 probably.
No, you don't. 25.
I'm a long time sufferer of guitar acquisitions. And I'm losing that battle.
Crikey, 25.
And I keep a list of how many guitars have passed through my hands over the years, and it's probably about close to 60 now, where in terms of owned at one point and then sold or swapped.
So out of the 25, out of the 25 guitars that you have, is there? I mean, how do you rotate between which ones you play? Are there any that you haven't played for like 5 years, for example?
That's a good question. No, there isn't one I haven't played for 5 years currently. I did have a Martin acoustic guitar, and that lived in its case, and I actually traded that in about 3 months ago with somebody. I swapped it for one of their guitars. That was the one probably that just lived in its case, actually, that just was not getting played. But I don't really play acoustic guitar very much, but at one point I had wanted a good acoustic guitar.
Was there any other reason other than you just weren't playing much acoustic guitar? Was it that you didn't want to damage it, or you knew that you could sell it at some point, you wanted to keep it in good condition, or was it just as you said?
Yeah, I just wasn't reaching for it. It's kind of stuck in the corner of the room and wasn't really playing acoustic songs.
Oh, poor guitar.
I do actually have another acoustic that's out, the 12 string, and I'll grab that because it's out and it's on the stand.
How many are acoustics out of your 25? Have you just named the two?
Does an Acoustasonic count? I'm not sure if that's...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's an electric or an acoustic or an electric acoustic.
I'd still call that an acoustic, although, its purpose is to be as an electric as an acoustic can be.
Yeah. So I guess I have 4 acoustics. Two of the guitars are basses as well. I did have a baritone at one point, but I don't have that anymore.
Did you have the Squier Jazzmaster one, the Jaguar one? Or
this is the Dan Electro.
Oh, beautiful.
It's really nice. Also, that wasn't getting played. That was another one which, just a couple of years had passed where I'd not really picked it up, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to keep it.
Just like a good idea at the time, and then unless after a certain period, unless it has a sole purpose, I think it could quite easily become a dust collector, couldn't it? Yeah.
It's beautiful, and whenever I picked it up, it just sounded so good. But I thought somebody else would get to play it more. I think I saw someone who runs a music school, actually. So,
right.
I imagine it is getting good use now.
Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, that's lovely. Do you have a favourite?
That changes at any given time. Perhaps the one that's right behind me, actually. This is a Bolt guitar. I made it from a kit.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
I made it with my dad. So it came in a kit from a UK company called Bolt Guitars. Mm-hmm. And we customised it.
But when did you get it, and what did you do to it then?
I think it was last year or the year before.
So fairly recent.
And it comes in a box, just like the slabs of wood, but the fretboard is done. So you're not expected to put the frets in and do any of the fret work or anything like that.
But is that it then? So the body is unfinished and...
and it requires soldering and stuff like that.
Oh. I get so confused about soldering. Like, are you allowed to do it in your house? Do you have to do it in a garage, or is it like people...
I do at home.
The right solder? Do you have to have a soldering iron that's not too hot, or is hot enough, or... It's
not that technical or that tricky.
No.
You just need to make sure the solder gets hot enough to melt so that you can attach it to something else. Okay. So you can get caught up in different temperatures and things like that, but it doesn't matter. Okay. It's just about making sure the solder is melted so that you can then attach a wire to a port or something like that.
Yeah, okay. So
if it's not melting and the solder's just staying solid, then it's not.
And that's it. I mean, we did like a little bit of soldering at school. I took electronics GCSE. I made a distortion pedal, actually. It sounded quite good, but the case was like, it was horrific. But I'm sure your handiwork's much better than mine, Sharon.
I've done pedals as well. During lockdown, that was when I got really into building and...
Did you say lockdown?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was when I really got into modifying guitars in a big way, because I was at home and
Yeah, absolutely. So I was that. So, like in the grand scheme of things, I know it feels like a lifetime ago, but it also doesn't feel like a lifetime ago. Was that when you first started exploring, the inside of a guitar and making modifications, or had you done anything before then?
actually, yeah, I had done probably about 15 years ago now. I had an opportunity to buy a job lot of 6 guitars, which I saw on eBay.
Oh.
Japanese made guitars from the 60s and 70s. Really
That's
cheap.
so
I think I paid
exciting.
like 170 for the lot. I'm reading on my phone and like bidding for it. Quite a few years ago, I just felt like the Japanese guitars, I'd had 1 or 2 already, were just really good, really sounded good.
Yeah, solid.
A real thing for those, and they're such good value. So back when I bought those, I don't have any of those still anymore, but I'd modified those a bit. But actually, it was just a happy chance thing. But the January of 2020, I did a 1-day setup course.
Nice.
It was in Kent with guitar tech courses.
Oh, brilliant.
And that really introduced me to setting up, how to set up a guitar, all the ins and outs. And that's what got me started with doing all the tweaks, truss rod adjustments, all that kind of thing. And from there, I then got into the soldering, changing pickups, changing pots, modifying. So that was really the start of it in terms of doing it properly.
Yeah, so you got in there just before lockdown, didn't you? And then lockdown happened, and then you had the extra time to actually use that skill more and more. I mean, the only thing that's left is frets then. And as soon as you can do them, you can do about 7 of my guitars, please.
Oh, yeah, that's the one area that I'm...
It's completely different.
I don't really want to do it, to be honest. It looks really boring as well.
Yeah.
Learning how to set up your guitars also helps you to know when you do need the extra help.
Yeah.
So there's a few things where it's just like, okay, this is way beyond my abilities now, so I'm going to take it to a tech. And you know exactly what you want and what needs to be done.
I think it's good to if there's a guitar you're not as precious about, to take. I'm not like suggesting anyone listens to this does what I do, but I have experimented on a couple of guitars before in terms of just simple things when I didn't really know what to do with the truss rod or the saddles, and I have just sort of thought I'll just try it because you never learn otherwise. You've come this far without doing anything yourself. Just try it. What's the worst that can happen? And normally you just you just learn, don't you? It's again, anyone that's listening, I'm not suggesting just take a screwdriver to your guitar and go crazy, but there's you have to just make some mistakes, don't you?
Yeah, there are some really simple things you can do that can make a massive impact, like just raising the height of your pickup.
Okay,
a screwdriver and 1 or 2 turns.
That's it, and
it could really affect the sound. So if you think, oh, this sounds really dull or really dead, it might just be that the pickup is a little bit too far or too near to the strings. That's it. That's all you needed to do. That's a
really good piece of advice, and coupled with the fact that you don't have to take anything off. You don't have to go through the back of the guitar. You don't have to take your scratch plate off. You can just do it, can't you?
Yeah.
That's a brilliant piece of advice. And if it's not sounding how you like it, then you just put it back.
Exactly, yeah. Just remember how many turns you made, and then
as long as it's not falling off.
Yeah, you're going to be fine if you just do something like that.
Yeah.
The other mod I find that's easy to do, again, if you're not precious about your guitar, is just sounding lightly the back of the neck.
Yes. Yeah.
That makes it so much more playable, I find. To give the back of the neck more of a satin feel. I find that's quite an easy. I don't know if it's even classed as a mod. I guess it's a modification. So
it is. It is for sure.
Also, if it's glossy, it can get quite sticky.
Yeah, and again, my 1996 Squire, the back of that, I call that a modification. It's made a huge difference. It feels incredible. This is brilliant. You've given us really, really, really great advice, and again, not stuff that I expected either. So I know that you're very keen with your modifications, but you've not just told us loads and loads of stuff that you do and all the geeky stuff, which is lovely, but you've actually just given us really, really useful, straightforward tips. It's very handy. Thank you. I'm going to bring
once you get into it, there's no limit to what you can do. So with one of my guitars, I've added a boost circuit.
Lovely.
The 9-volt battery.
Oh wow.
And I replaced it's a Strat style guitar, and I replaced one of the tone knobs with the boost dial.
Oh, brilliant.
The other tone knob controls all 3 pickups.
Like a master tone instead.
Yeah, master tone. Yeah, and a boost, and it's just fantastic. Yeah, that was my biggest challenge, because I had to fit everything within the routing of the pick underneath the pick guard. And there's not that much space in there, so
I love the idea of that. So you have master volume, master tone, and then the furthest one, or whichever one, is a boost.
Yeah, it's like a boost style. And
once
you've done that, you can then do anything. You could get any kind of pedal circuit, so you can put in a distortion and have a dial for it. So the sky's the limit, really. I've added kill switches. That's really fun as well.
Yeah. So that's the thing. The more skills that you get, the more ideas you then get as well. What's next on the list then? I wasn't going to ask you that. I'm intrigued now. What's next on your purchase list or your modification list, or both?
So I have been toying with the idea this week of converting a Fender Vintera Strat into more of a Gilmour tribute.
Oh.
But it won't visually look like a Gilmour tribute, but I'm looking at shortening the tremolo arm.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
And replacing the bridge pickup with a Seymour Duncan, I think. He has the SSL 5.
Right, okay.
I've been looking and thinking about doing that this week. That's my latest kind of.
This is nothing to do with one of the latest songs that we've been running together, is it?
That's it. If my guitar is a David Gilmour style guitar, I have no excuse but to sound like David Gilmour.
I love that. I just imagine you like playing the song and using the whammy bar and thinking, God, this is a pain in the backside. How long this is. If only I could just shorten this. It'd make my life so much easier.
I realised it's actually something people don't really tend to sell, maybe in America, but it's actually quite an easy thing to do. You have to saw off the end of the tremolo arm, make sure the length is as you want it. But the part that you saw then gets covered by the plastic switch the tip, so it's hidden anyway.
Of course.
So, it's not too tricky a mod, really. Just have to.
No. And again, I'm going to say it. Everyone, get your saws out. If you're old enough, get your saws out. This is modification time. I hope that everyone messages me after this and they're like, you know what, I sanded the back of my guitar deck. I've raised the pickups, and I've been sawing down my tremolo arm. We're going to call this the String Queen modification kit. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I love it.
Add to that list easily. So.
Yeah, I'd bet. Right. I just have to ask as well on the purchase list. Is there anything extra?
Well, I just bought a Yamaha Revstar Standard.
Oh, you have you?
And that's gorgeous. So I'm still getting really into that.
Okay.
That's going to keep me satisfied for a little bit.
All right. So I'll ask you again in another 1 week, and you'll have another one. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a really beautiful guitar. I think the other thing about learning how to set up and mod guitars yourself is you feel more comfortable buying things secondhand. So when I do buy guitars, mostly, a lot of the time it is secondhand, but I do like to buy secondhand from guitar shops as well, just for peace of mind. But it means that if there's a tweak or something, I know I can fix it.
Yeah.
So it gives you that confidence as well.
Peace of mind, isn't it, as well? You know, there's some things that are completely out of my control, like buying second-hand cars. And I think, God, you know, if you had that peace of mind where, you know, if I'm going to buy this car, even if it's a complete banger, I could just fix it myself. You don't care. It doesn't matter nearly as much, does it? I honestly, I can't. there's a bass, a Fender jazz bass that I bought, and I bought that new, probably one last year or the year before. Before then, I can't remember the last new guitar I've bought. I think that they're all made. Well, not all. Like majority of them, I buy a second hand. I don't know why. I mean, it's not just the obvious that they're cheaper. I think I don't know. Maybe I'm just kidding myself, but I almost feel like I prefer them.
Yeah, there's something a bit lived in, aren't they?
Yeah.
The guitar I played for the gig that I did was a second-hand guitar that's a bit beaten up. Had definitely been gigged by other people in the past, but it meant I wasn't too precious about it. But it's got a kind of lived-in feel.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting at. You know, like you go to a guitar shop and you pick up like a Fender Strat and you hold it and you're like, ugh, this thing needs some life. Just needs a bit of. They feel too pure, don't they? Maybe it's because I'm just not used to it.
Yeah. Although the other guitar, my other shoulder, is actually a fake relic. So I know that really divides people on the internet, doesn't it?
Well, let's see, shall we? But it looks like they've done, or they have done a very good job at it. So it doesn't look like it's been run over. At least it looks very, very good.
It looks like it's been played a lot more than it has been.
I'd like to bring you to your practice habits now. So we've got a lot of great information and tips from you. I'd like to talk about you as a student, really, for a little bit. And a couple of episodes ago, I had my student Alex on, and I asked him this question as well. And I'd like to see if yours differs at all. You two are both equally very committed and driven students. So what does a typical practice session look like?
So practicing is quite a struggle sometimes. It gets fitted in or slotted into the day, and it's usually at the end of the working day, once I've done my family commitments, had dinner, and had a little bit of family time, and then I'll normally be quite late on when I'm actually getting to it, usually, apart from on the weekend. But I'll always do warm-ups, and that can include arm stretches as well. Okay. And stretching my hand. I find that helps. And I really like the spider exercises, the ones that you provide.
I feel proud.
But then I normally just get stuck in. And what I find is it's better to spend 10 or 15, 20 minutes a day, every day, rather than twice a week, half an hour or an hour. I find that's what really works for me. And it's just a necessity in terms of fitting it in. But if I can do it each day, I find I progress a lot faster. Yeah,
definitely. I think I suggest that little and often is better than, so like you say, twice a week for an hour or so each time. It's not the same, is it? And I suppose if people have like a typical week, then it's probably easier to do as you're doing as well. Just slot in 15, 20 minutes at a time. Because fit it into your routine. You said, and like I'm being completely honest here. Like I do get to just sit with guitars all day long, but I have to remind myself that people have jobs that are not doing that. So you're working all day long, and meetings and everything else that you do, and then you have your lovely family time and everything. And at the end of the day, at the end of my day personally, I'm done. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think I have any hobbies. I'm just done by the end of the day. I don't think I have time. Well, I do have time. I definitely have time, but I don't have energy. So how do you stay consistent with your practice?
I'm quite a late night person. I've always naturally liked staying up late. Definitely more creative in the evening. and at night. In fact, when I'm modding a guitar, I nickname it the midnight mod shop, because it's normally around midnight that I've got the soldering iron out and I'm like in the shed or something, or like with the windows open on the dining
We want
table.
a YouTube channel. We want a YouTube channel from you.
Yeah, the midnight mod shop.
The Midnight Mod Shop. We want that. And you have to trademark that name as well. We want that. What do you say?
But that's practicing is normally it's normally quite close to bedtime.
Okay, yeah.
I think the consistency is driven by passion and enthusiasm and wanting to do it, which is really different to when I started out and I was kind of forced in a way to do lessons. Although I'd wanted to, and I chose to learn the violin and I chose to learn the piano, it still felt like I was being forced in a way. I was very young, so I was being told I had to practice and I had to have a lesson and I had to do this and that, and this is now completely my choice. I want to get good, and I love it, so that's what drives the consistency.
Yeah. And I suppose I have to be careful about what I say, or maybe not, but I over the years, I definitely teach less and less children and more adults. And, the one or two children that I do, I'm very lucky that they do practice. But over the years, I've had, when I used to teach way more children, and they're not paying for their lessons, of course. And it's not a lot of them are practicing, and it's quite, like you say, you're driven because a little bit of it is probably because you pay for lessons as well. I'm paying for lessons. What's the point of not practicing? But you're driven because you love it. You're driven because you want to do it. There's no other reason that you're going to do something unless you actually want to do it. Like if you need to do it or if you want to do it. So, and
I think having the regular lessons has really helped progress in that respect as well, because I have to show up. So we have our lessons every week, and I have to be there and have to show you what I've done.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas when I was teaching myself for many years, I wasn't accountable to anybody.
Yeah,
which limits your progress.
Yeah, definitely. And of course I would say this, but I would say this because it's absolutely true. You have to be held accountable somewhat, and you have to move forward. And I get it. Look, sometimes people can't, there are different weeks and things happen, et cetera, but in the grand scheme of things, we have to keep moving forward because we just have to. There's no other way. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm really glad, by the way, as well. Thank you for your answer, but also, extremely glad to hear it. And as I say, we're not even at a year yet, but it feels like I've known you or been teaching you and working with you, as I'd say, way longer than a year.
We've done a lot. I mean, and if you add the 7 songs that I played live as well, they weren't even on our list of songs at the time. So,
no. And this is what I'm constantly talking to students about as well, building your song list, your repertoire. It was like one of the only things I remember from college. Like one of our teachers used to bang on about have a repertoire, have a list of songs you can play from beginning to end, and I'd be like, I don't really understand why, and blah blah. Maybe they didn't explain, or maybe I wasn't listening. But it is so important, isn't it?
That's something else that's really made a difference in terms of having lessons. So when I was teaching myself, I do a couple of riffs from the song, do the solo, maybe the intro, but I rarely force myself to do a song from the beginning right the way through to the end. And that's really changed with the lessons with you, which has been great. And obviously playing in a band, you can't just play
the intro.
You have to play the whole song. So.
Yeah, you guys take it from here. I'm off. I've done the intro.
I'll just do the riff on repeat.
I'll do Smoke on the Water, and then I'll see you later. But no, it's very common. So I would say, like, I don't know, 20% of students that I get are complete beginners, and then the 80% are people who have tried teaching themselves, full stop. And one of the first things I say to them, or always say to them in the first lesson, is, do you know any songs from beginning to end? And every single time the answer is no. And I get it. I do get it. There's no reason to, is there? Right. Anyway, we've changed that, and it's all looking very positive. I'm going to bring you to. This sounds like an interview question. Wonder why I wrote this one down. It sounds very, very. It's going to be very helpful if you can answer this one. Don't worry if not. But I know your answer will be helpful if you can. When you're learning a song, have you ever felt stuck when you're learning a song? I'm sure that you have. But can you give us an example or how you would push through a stuck moment? Because we all, and everyone listening to this, will need some advice, and maybe they have their own ways, but it's always good to hear someone else's point of view. So have you ever had a moment where you felt stuck, and how do you push through it?
Sure. Well, probably the most stuck I've been recently, and probably ever actually playing guitar, is the Comfortably Numb solo 2, which is, well, it has some really, really tricky parts, really fast, but rhythmic parts that don't necessarily make much sense. And when you're studying it and trying to learn it as it should be, as it's played on, say, the album, you're thinking, well, when Dave Gilmour was playing it or recording it, he was kind of just riffing it, doing, messing about in a way, making it and always making it sound good, because anything he would do would sound good. But here we are trying to play it exactly as it was recorded in that format. And I find that quite tricky. But what always helps for me is breaking it down and slowing it down.
Oh, brilliant. So, okay.
Tackling fewer notes and really slowing it down, and then gradually speeding it up.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's what helps. And also taking breaks. So if you're just not getting it one day, just come back to it the next day.
Yeah, I think that's really sensible advice, especially the slowing it down. Whoever's listening to this, you'll know who you are. There's a few of you who refuse to slow something down when you're learning it. You're naughty. You just got to slow it down. Slow it down. It's not forever. That's what I feel like saying. It's not forever. Just slow it down for a bit, and then you can start speeding it up again. You'll get to where you want to be quicker overall.
When I was doing the first solo from Comfortably Numb, I had it slowed down at 0.75, and then I realised, and I thought, okay, I'm kind of getting this, and I realised, and then I put it back to 1 on the speed, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is way too fast. I surprised myself. I thought I forgot that I'd slowed it down.
Yeah, sometimes that's happened to me actually quite a few times. You can actually forget, can't you, that this is not actually full speed. If you want to really challenge yourself, something that one of my students, Reese, does quite often with me, he speeds up a song to faster than 100%, and then if you can play it like that, then he slows it down to 100%, and then it's much easier. I mean, that's a different technique and different method, but for some, when you get to a certain point, it's a really good way to test your muscle memory, I guess. And then when you slow it down to 100%, you go, oh wow, that's easy. It's like tricking yourself. So okay, yeah, thank you for that. So I feel like answering some of these questions for you, which is so weird, because I'm like, I want you to know that I think I know these answers, because I think I do. But how I suppose I'll take a breather. I suppose I'll have to let you talk for a bit longer. Okay, I think I can do that for a minute. All right. How do you measure, not me, how do you measure your own progress?
I think it's very much driven by learning a song that I always thought was really hard to play. So one song I really wanted to learn from the beginning to the end was Carnival it's a Natalie Merchant song.
That was a very good period.
I just thought in my mind, if I can play that, I'm basically, good at guitar. And that's how I measure progress, because if I'm playing songs that I once listened to and thought, that is tricky, if I know then how to play them, I feel like I'm making progress. So I think once I've done Comfortably Numb, I'll have completed guitar, and that will be it. I can't see where we're going to go from there. I'm sure
I'll have to slow down your progress then, keep you going a bit longer with me.
Because for me, that solo has always been out of reach. So I know that I'm definitely getting a lot better. The other way personally that I've measured progress is by being able to play live, and
This is
doing
that's
that
what I
gig and
wanted
it
to
being a
say.
success.
That's what I wanted to say for you. Like, it's after everything that we've been talking about. Of course, it has to be. I can stand in front of all my colleagues and everyone, all these people on a stage, and I can play in a band with, you know, it's not like a duo. It's a full band, and you're playing lead guitar. There you go. You know what I mean? And also, I've heard some of the footage from it, and it is absolutely just electrifying is the word I would say. It wasn't just a normal gig, was it? It was absolutely like on fire.
Yeah, we had a really happy and excited audience, and they gave us a great reception, which really helped as well.
Yeah, it definitely helps, but without the band to complement that, then, you know, it is you guys in the band. Is what I'm saying.
I'm still getting complimented now from colleagues who haven't seen me since.
I bet.
In the office, so
Yeah.
I did feel like a rock star for at least a good week afterwards, for sure.
I bet, deservedly as well. Did they? So, like, I think I said this earlier, but I'm not sure. I'm guessing there's a lot of people there that don't know that you play guitar, or.
Yeah, people were pretty shocked, actually.
Yeah.
At work, I'm pretty serious and I have my head down. I'm kind of different persona.
And they're like, you kept this quiet?
Yeah, I did. It was really
good.
funny. Yeah, people were pretty shocked.
Yeah. Well, good. And also, I'm sure you thought of this, but you could be inspiring for other people there as well. Some other people who, again, serious, get their head down at work and perhaps don't have something that they do for themselves outside of work and family commitments and everything, and they see how, you know, how happy you are when you're doing it, and, you know, we all need to do something for ourselves, don't we? So you may have already inspired other people to go and pick up an instrument, which is lovely.
Yeah, I do feel really fortunate to have this. It's really good to have a hobby like this, a really wholesome one.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost too much. My partner might disagree. Always jokes about going to the guitar shop and hiding the evidence and that kind of thing applied to me, for sure. But it is a really wholesome hobby, and it's a really good way to unwind at the end of the day as well.
That's the thing. It has so much like mental benefit as well, doesn't it? It's not just like, sometimes I think it's mad, like, because this is it for you as well, but of course you have a job outside of it. But for me, I've been doing this for like 13 years now, and sometimes I forget how, like, in the grand scheme of things, how quite niche it is to just, do you see what I mean? And then I'm like, because it feels so normal to me, it just feels like everyone does this, and we just all sit in this room and like just talk to each other all day and do this. And I'm like, well, actually, no. It's like, in the grand scheme of things, not many people do this, do they? Just play guitar and, you know. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on one there because I want to hear more about you. So I'm doing a really good job of not talking about myself. I think it's only been about 15 minutes of me and about 17 of you. Right. What advice would you give to any other students? Any students listening of mine, or people who are listening that play guitar and have other guitar teachers, or any other students who want to improve faster? Do you have any advice? More advice, please.
My advice is get a guitar that's decent to practice on. So if you're playing on something that's really rubbish, you're not going to be inspired to pick it up. So get a guitar that you want to just keep playing effectively, because once you're playing that, once you're just inclined to grab that guitar and play it all the time, you will practice more and then you'll get better.
Yeah.
So I would say, invest in, and these days actually I think it's a really great time to start picking up electric guitar, because there are so many really decent guitars that do not cost too much money.
Yeah.
So there are brands like East Coast and Jet. I think the guitars are under £100.
They are, yeah. East Coast, I think the Strat is 99 quid. Or like, it's ridiculous.
and they're really, really decent guitars. So it's not like it used to be. Like some of those Japanese guitars I'm talking about, the action was really high. They're made of plywood, things like that. And it's not those days have gone now. In terms of, if you're willing to spend £80 to £100, you get something, that you could even use as a modding platform, for instance.
There's so much more in the beginner market, isn't there now? Like you said, and actually earlier, you were talking about the Argos catalogue, and so I used to look through the Argos catalogue all the time, ever since probably I could read. Me and my sister used to read it every single December leading up to Christmas. But anyway, it was of course still a thing. Like when I'd started playing guitar, and they had 2 guitars in there. You'll know these brands probably. So they had Squire, of course, and then they had Encore.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that one?
That brand, yeah.
Squire and Encore, and they had those 2, okay, it's not a guitar shop, so that's fair enough. But my point still stands. I agree with you. The beginner market it's huge now, isn't it? And like you say, it's more competitive, so they can't just give you pieces of shit now. It's like they're much better quality, aren't they?
Yeah, and even the Squire. So the 1996 year, I think, was just a really good year, but some of those early ones weren't so good. And there's obviously exceptions like the JV range and things, but generally speaking, whereas now the Squires, I think I've got a couple of Squires. I just think they're fantastic. Really good.
I absolutely agree. I really do.
And then you don't even need much equipment to get your electric sounding good. You could play it through a computer. You can get headphone amps and things like that. So you don't have to invest too much to get decent enough sound that's going to want you playing more as well. So yeah, that's my advice, is get the equipment that makes you want to grab the guitar so that you then practice more, and it's kind of cyclical. And then when you practice more, you will get better. I
think it's, again, I can't add to that. I think that is the most important thing, isn't it? If you're a beginner, those headphone amps, I mean, you can get ones that are really intricate and they have apps, the Fender one, and then there's I think a Blackstar just brought out one as well, which they're incredible, right? They really are. But then you can also get the £35 Vox one that I was fortunately gifted by somebody, and I use that in the house all the time. 35 quid. It just sounds so good. And I don't, it does and it doesn't, but it does. It really, it's unbelievable the sound that you get from it. But I don't need it to be anything else, because I just want to hear it. I just want to plug my headphones into it, and I just want to play. I don't want to have to be playing around with anything else anyway. So, so what we're saying then, East Coast guitar, and I'm going to throw in the Vox amp there. So that's £134.99 probably for a decent. You don't even need a lead with that.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure the Squire one back in the day, the one that you and I got, was probably like 200 quid back then with the amp.
Yeah, it was.
Of course, it's
to get a set of about £250 back in the 90s. I remember.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so mine, I would have got mine in 90. God, I'm thinking about this in real time. 2001, maybe 2002, and I think it was definitely over 200 quid. But we rented ours. We rented it from the music shop,
right? And
for 3 months, and then if you wanted to continue, then you got that. If you wanted to continue and buy it, then you got that money back, basically.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a really good deal, actually.
Yeah, it was, because my parents were obviously like, this guy's not going to do this. So they're like, yeah, we're not fucking buying it. We'll rent it for a bit and see. He's done cricket. He gave up cricket. Then he did rugby. He was crap at that. Football, he was all right at, but he just gave that up. Now he wants to do guitar. So let's just, we'll see what happens with this one, shall we? Okay. Great advice. And very lastly, if you could play on stage with any band or artist, and I have to clarify this time, dead or alive, who would it be?
So it's a tricky question to answer because before I play on stage, I would want to practice loads with them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to just go on there and be like, right, grab that guitar and like, that's just my style. I'd want to be,
if you
so
could,
if I was going to play like off the cuff, kind of impromptu, it'd probably be in somewhere like Anderton's or Norm's Rare Guitars or something like that, where you're playing with other people and something like, that would, like, you know, with a camera on.
I loved it. Yeah.
Would be more my style. But otherwise, I think I'd have most fun if I could play with Nirvana, I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I really like Pat Smear as a guitarist as well. He always looks like he's having so much fun.
Yeah.
I'd be like on the side of the stage as well, in Nirvana, but like,
so you basically, I'm understanding, you want a band that's got energy and passion and they look like they're having fun, and you want to join in with that.
Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't want to like be upstaged by John.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Is there anything else that you want to say whilst we are here? I think we're coming to the end. I think we could keep this going for much longer, but I think we could do a part 2 at some point if we want, or we'll wait until you've done your next gig and then we can hear all about that as well. But is there anything else that you want to add?
Well, just to say thank you, really. I genuinely feel like I've progressed so much in the past, not even a year, beyond playing songs beyond I ever thought I'd be able to play. And yeah, I can definitely see the improvement by having the structure of lessons and the discipline. So yeah, my advice to everybody listening is get yourself a guitar teacher.
Yeah.
A good guitar teacher.
That's right. Okay, well, yeah, brilliant. I'm so pleased. 2 things. One, I'm so pleased with how you've been getting on, and it's not even been a year, so let's may it continue, and may you guys get another gig in the diary soon as well. And 2, just want to say a massive thank you, because this has been an extremely smooth conversation for me, and I'm sure it comes across that way to everyone else, and I've genuinely really enjoyed it, and the advice that you've given, everything you've given has been so wonderful, and I know that it will be very much appreciated by everyone, so I cannot thank you enough for your time. It's for nobody who's going to know this, but it's quite late on a Friday night, so thank you so much, Sharon.
Thank you.